Now you have to explain to me why you brought me to the Middle Earth. I mean, this is the land I hate, the land of Mordor.
The classic area where you have to hit a half shot with the sand, which is not a full shot, but it is also not an approach.
I strongly hate this shot. By the way, what's the problem when I'm here? The problem is I start thinking about how to do it. I'm not good at it.
Bravo. That's exactly why I brought you here, because this is one of the shots that you don't play instinctively.
Well, here I can't get on autopilot because I don't have it in the shot list.
You know what happens? You face the analysis paralysis. This one is beautiful. What a preparation.
What a preparation.
What is analysis paralysis? It is a title of a chapter in the book Golf Ahead Game, in Italian by Stefano Ricciuti.
I'll give it a try in the meantime.
Among the best-selling books on Amazon at the golf level in Italian. He's been, for several years, the best-selling author. The reason why is quite simple.
Do you know that I
Because in a very simple chapter, he manages to make you understand why you make a crap shot that just as soon as you flew over the bunker from here.
Analysis paralysis.
Exactly.
What happens? I get on the ball, and I always like to tell this thing. When we started driving the car, it was a bit problematic because
obviously
you sit down and put the seat in place, then you have to check, then up. I press the clutch down, but wait for clutch, brake, I start the car.
I put in the first
I
gear
turn on, no, but
first.
I'm in neutral. Or in the beginning it's difficult. You have to remember a lot of things because nothing is done automatically. It's all big and small gestures that you have to concatenate rationally.
Yes.
Okay. When you then begin to learn how to play, so you start driving well, at some point you find yourself putting on autopilot to arrive home from work, okay? If you think halfway through, but I remember making the gesture of turning the machine on. I mean, it's obvious, it's
Did I
on.
put it in fifth on that straight?
You don't know. No, you are your autopilot, you are your gear shift if you have manual transmission or your automatic one. In golf, it's the same thing.
Yes. You have to be able to get on to have a precision of the gesture, a repetition of the gesture so that we could, I mean, you don't have to think about it anymore. So an example Stefano gives in the book is the example of the centipede. As a centipede must walk by coordinating 1,000 little legs. They asked him one day, but how do you manage to coordinate so many feet?
I want the music from documentaries, the ones we watched when we were kids. But is it called a centipede because it really has 1,000 legs, or because there are so many that you can't count them?
This will be your task now. Count them and tell us all.
Okay, give me the book because there was a picture. Go ahead.
They asked him, but how do you coordinate all those little feet without ever stumbling? Since he started thinking about coordinating the feet, he was no longer able to walk. This is what happens when we enter analysis paralysis, which is we start thinking about doing things, which theoretically would also be right things. But just having to think about them and having to mechanize the act leads us to no longer be able to do them. So for example, give us an idea, you in this body here that is not for you comfortable. What do you think?
So I start, for example, to do something that I usually never do. Think where I put the ball in the middle of my feet. One thing I swear I never do in either drive or iron, nothing. It comes to me automatically, just like the automatic transmission we were talking about before. Me, if I'm holding the 5 iron, I already know more or less, and whether I want a higher or lower ball. I'll put the ball a thread further forward, a thread further back, automatically. Here I begin. Wait, however, the ball is put a little bit like this, then I want to get to it a little bit from the top, then maybe I put it a little bit further back, however, maybe so I hit a fat shot. Maybe better a little bit more in the center. However, my shot can go too high. Oh, but I have to do it 3/4, 7/8, 8/12. I'm starting to go crazy behind because I never know how much to load.
Square root for 2. Good.
5, okay.
8, comma p.
And another thing that I never think about, and here I do, is I keep my face open or closed. Never even thought about exiting from the bunker or on the approaches. Here I really start not to think about it, fortunately.
So this is the cause of your not thinking.
That's right. Fortunately, some of these shots where we get the most thought are shots that can be avoided during the game. Because shooting a ball 50 meters from the green in my case, 50 meters from the green is more or less my shaded area. I can also decide I can try not to put in.
You can limit the balls that end up there.
I mean,
that ball goes where it wants to go, though. Usually, at least you don't hit on purpose. I mean, why do you have to hit this shot from 130 meters going to the water?
this was the best of all.
Good.
However, I really have difficulty and I feel embedded.
And here, I tell you, I had basically the same problem in the same area. I started to solve it by doing a practice of somewhat different, which was thinking no more to what I'm doing for that shot, but hitting shot and conversely measuring how many meters the ball was making.
This is one of the reasons why we always say that. Take measurements that can often unwillingly help us and at whatever level leads to mechanization of movement, more or less.
Mechanicize.
Oh, okay, mechanize the movement. Why? Because if I find myself once at 45 meters, I hit and make 50. I say, gosh, wait, I've got a 50 shot, I've got it. I'll just replicate it.
And instead, often, how do you reason? I went long.
That's right.
You didn't go long. You took a 50-meter shot. Use it for next time. Exactly, so that I was able to slowly better from here. And this area, still having areas the same because you struggle to find the feeling, though. I find a feeling that makes 50 meters, then wait, a little higher, a little lower, and so on.
More or less.
Because it's a shot that I don't like, however, at least I know that somehow. I know I can handle
You know,
it.
I'm reminded of something else that I often read below in the comments, and I am also asked about, Mom, by the way, we also made a video, how much does the 7-iron have to reach? So many people think the other way. I mean, I should make my 7-iron reach like on 20 meters. But why this? If you make 115, but you make them repetitive, welcome.
If
If you make 125,
if the flag is
even
at
better.
115, you take a shot at 115. It is difficult to be so far
It's usually
away.
not bad. However, another thing that I needed actually is to try to find your rhythm. And then I realized that in the beginning, one of the things I said it before that I think about most when I get, for example, a shot like that is how much to load. Instead, I realized that to me, if I start to block the swing in some points, usually you know there is the clock. How is it that you use? I'm at 9, I'm at 11, I go crazy. Remove because I have the digital one. I can no longer read the hands.
When you put on the 9 o'clock digital square with the leg underneath,
I'm at 9.
I'm at 9.
And instead, I like it much better. Try to take advantage of something I have in my peculiarities. That is the soft rhythm one. I'm kind of soft and I use the soft rhythm. So what do? Oh, I always tend to do my small overswing. Okay. And then I manage the acceleration, so consequently the passing speed to have more or less speed, which then clearly generates the flight. This thing also allows me to not to get stuck, because timing is the key part in these shots, so I can keep all the body parts more or less in sync, and I eliminate some of the problems, some of them, because the rest is left over for me, but I don't do. I mean, now I try. Because theoretically, from here, a cool one who is skilled, would set up and do a shot, I don't know, you stop here, then you accelerate well forward. Remove that, I'm absolutely unable to stop. So I'm going to think about stopping here. I'm probably already going to do that full shot. And then I stand here. Tension. This was very good.
You took it well, but compared to the shots before you swung with a different rhythm,
Hey, I had to.
you sped up the change of direction a little bit.
I felt late.
It also went well.
It went well. This was perhaps the best one, however it is random.
In fact, I do exactly the opposite of you, since I don't tend to get stuck on the rhythm that much. Hey, but
You are very good at keeping the club
when
in
I go
front
to
of the
accelerate at
body.
the moment of impact, I think exactly the opposite. I load at the point where I need to get the 50 meters, and then it goes down and accelerates, knowing that that run-up will lead me to do at that particular kind of distance.
For example, it is essential Makes us understanding, getting to know each other and knowing one's advantages and disadvantages. For instance, Benny, why can you do that? Because on average you have fairly steady hands, so you'll never happen to hear that by feeling late. You hit a bad shot, it is much more likely that you will keep almost too much.
Now I will go into analysis paralysis.
Yes.
I'm going to
Shall we go for a challenge?
Using badly my hands, and I go.
Challenge you right away.
Guaranteed fat shot.
On the other hand, I know perfectly well that I use my hands a lot, must take advantage of it, because in a shot like the one I tried to do before, if I feel a little late or out of rhythm, the first thing that comes to me, I activate my hands and risk doing fat shot M-shanks, tops and whatever.
You hit the ball very well, but you don't know with what loft the club is coming. You get the classic.
While on the other hand, in my nice soft swing, and super long.
Super fluffy.
I know perfectly well that once the club is used, it will more or less come with the hands just barely forward, or maybe even evenly matched, and who cares? And that's it, I don't have that problem there. So, this stuff here, in my opinion, is critical.
So in the end, what is the trick in this situation? Step one. Getting to know each other, knowing what we are doing, what are our strengths, our weaknesses. Really, step two, and we are competing under pressure. If we start thinking about too many things, or we get stuck, maybe a feeling, a sensation to recall what the right movement, it can absolutely help. For some it helps, for others absolutely not. But 3, 4, 5 thoughts at the same time are too difficult to handle until we have an autopilot.
That's right. So on the driving range and in the practice area, or even on laps around the course, but during practice we experiment, try to understand each other, and we teach our bodies to have automatisms. And when you have to bring home the result, look at the flag. Think blow, hit ball. And that's how it came out to me. Did you like it?
No.
It's okay, never mind.
However, if you're interested in the book Golf Ahead Game by Stefano Risciuti, if you want, we'll post the link below.
But there are also dedications.
Well, yes, I don't know if the ones that sail on Amazon arrive dedicated already.
Dedicated
to us, yes.
However, there is the final thanks to us.
We had it in
However,
preview. And we made the video on it years later.
explain to us for a moment, then to Andrea, fellow adventurer.
Now, an exceptional person with true affection.
So I leave you alone with Stefano.
There is a little love story between
I heard that there is.
we don't tell our wives.
I am not so jealous.
To Gigi, the guy with the unique and innovative sympathy, an innovator of our beautiful sport.
Because I was able to come up with the panzata shot.
So you invented the rolling flat shot.
The flat. The scuso.
The scuso.
Do we make a video on the
No,
scuso?
we have to do it.
Can we do it now?
We've been saying since day one that we need to make the video.
Write below in the comments what you think about it. Paralysis and analysis. We're filming
Let's
the
go.
video about the scuso.
Oh, pata 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 pata.
How was the summary?
Summary of B wins. And moreover, while only 20 of B are being up.
20 of B, 20 of B.
No, 20 Bs we can't do. We only need one.
Yeah, there is also leftover.
Speak normally, B.
I speak normal, Bella G.
Me normally, Bella B.
The thanks they wrote for us.
The angle of how we shoot relative to where the light is. But I play in, so if not, you'll film my ass. Do you want to stay like this or no? Is it perfect? You tell me. Let's find a shot that makes sense. Shot from 50 meters. Let's put it at the bottom. Is it okay?
I have the 2 books.
Ah, there's that thing. Then you stand on that thing.
We'll use that thing as a support for the books.
So he did it just a second ago, guys. It's just for the microphone.
A second ago, everything was working.
Go.
Nothing works here.
Yeah, sure.